Hi Steve, an early preview of our Sunday, April the 14th auction. It's all a bit of topsy-turvy because we're in the setting up stage, but we've got so much good stuff we decided we're going to let you guys in early. Starting off here in our mid-century section, we have two pairs of wonderful Mies van der Rohe Barcelona chairs. These are actually by Nall, done in the 70s, but reupholstered about 10 years ago by Nall at a great expense, but in beautiful, beautiful condition, ready to go into the house. As you can see, we have two pairs, two ottomans. Here we have a beautiful rosewood with brass overlay circular pieces on it. It's a console and mirror. Sitting atop this, we have this beautiful marble clock by Bigelow and Kennard, and what's interesting is atop it is this beautiful Egyptian revival doré and patinated bronze Egyptian goddess, and it's signed Emile Herbert, quite a rare artisan. Beautiful, beautiful quality. Moving right along, Steve, you'll notice we have lots of carpets in this style. We have them by Paul Klee, we have Indiana, these are by a guy called Arnaldi. We've a wonderful selection of French 19th century furniture that came from an estate in Briarcliff Manor, all from the same estate, starting off with this beautiful marble top commode. Look at the thick marble, 19th century. Underneath the brass we found a signature that says E. Schmidt à Paris. Nice side doors on it, side opening, but look, beautiful bronze work, beautiful quality commode, beautiful inlaid in the center. And on top of the commode in our decorative section, from the same estate, we have a nice pair of, I think they're called dancing minstrels. They look Italian the way they dance there. And these are by a guy called Duret. In the center here, we have a nice Muro, Maturian Muro bronze. It's as a lamp, but nice size, nice quality. Over here from the same estate, Steve, we have this bow front, beautiful size vitrine, beautiful quality bronze work. Looks very like a sample I saw by Linky. We found no signatures on it, but from the same estate, very nice bronze plaque in the center here. Sitting on top of this, also from Briarcliff Manor, one of my favorite pieces in the sale, a silvered bronze Art Deco sculpture by an artist called Théophile Somme. Skipping away from that estate for a few minutes, all the way from Syracuse we managed to grab some stuff this time. We have this magnificent marble sculpture sitting atop its original pedestal. This is by an artist called Joseph Mosier. This came from a woman up in Syracuse. Wonderful condition. I don't think there's any damage whatsoever. It's titled and signed down there. From that same estate, we got this absolutely magnificent Royal Vienna lidded urn. The title on the urn, as you can see down here, is Amore Triumph, and I believe it's signed by an artist called T. Creisa, C-R-E-I-S-A, but look at the size of that. I think it's 29 inches, really beautiful, not a scratch or anything on it. Below it, from the Briarcliff Manor, we have another marble top French pedestal, beautiful bronze mounting on it. This has a small paper label on it, I believe it to be 19th century. With that, I'm going to run you through the main room, Steve. Everyone's in here busy trying to clean up and make it look good and try and get it looking like Sotheby's in the bigger galleries. But unlike them, we like to be Irish and fresh. So this is how it is. We're going to run you through quickly, Steve. As you see, lots and lots of mid-century. We cater to the market all the time. Wonderful art on the walls, wonderful Asian stuff. Bruce, Neely and Keane are going to go through this in a few minutes, and Whitney in detail. Look, lots and lots of mid-century on the floor, lots of carpets. This is a Vincent van Gogh carpet by Ajax Minster. This is the Klee one. All over here, beautiful marble top furniture, wonderful large old masters, great quality mahogany used furniture, magnificent Hilly of London china cabinet, more carpets, marble top consoles, Sheraton style tables, Art Deco bronze cabinets. Wonderful stuff. I just quick look in the back room. They're going to go through it a bit more in detail, but we'll give you a glimpse there. All the way along, we've got clocks, starburst, mirrors, tables, tchotchkes. You name it, we have it. So be here on April the 14th at 12 p.m. It's going to be a great sale, and we're looking forward to seeing you. With that, I give you Bruce. Thank you.
Thanks, Ron. Before I start my video walkthrough, I just want to mention that Keane will do the mid-century with you, but we had the fortunate experience of getting the contents of a Central Park South apartment that had been decorated in the late 50s, early 60s, and was an absolute time capsule. Nothing ever moved from there. So the stuff was quite dirty, but it's a great group of stuff, and you'll see it, and Keane will talk about it. So here we go. We have a nice selection of bronzes, French bronzes, just a few here. in the bottom of this showcase, but this is a nice little child harlequin, I guess, by Dimitri Chaparis with an ivory face, original red marble base, nice. Some other bronzes here, Art Nouveau, French 19th or early 20th century. And here, Steve, from a house in Mamaronecker Rye, is really an amazing gilded bronze French clock. The dial's signed Berthaud, I believe. About as nice quality, big beveled glass and gilt bronze clock as you can find. And noteworthy only because of its condition is a little ukulele here by C.F. Martin. And here a signed Handel lamp base, definitely made for the Handel company, signed Handel on the bottom with a little plate here. Oh, I'm sorry, it's here. Anyway, nice item. Here, two little Austrian bronze horses, cold painted horses. One is signed Bergman in really amazing original condition. We have a nice selection of boxes. This is just 3 of them. Here's a 19th century brass inlaid rosewood humidor, sort of Regency or William IV. And here's a little French buhl tortoiseshell and brass tea caddy, original lids. And here's a letter box, 19th century English, probably burled walnut or burled elm, calamander inside. But this was retailed by Tiffany in Manhattan at their earliest address, Union Square, Tiffany. Anyway, a beautiful little writing box, all original condition. And here, a silver plate and Wedgwood floor lamp, unsigned. It's either Caldwell or the Sterling Bronze Company. It's one of the American companies, sort of 1910, but really a beautiful and great condition lamp. Well, it needs a little polishing. One of the nicest items that I like is a 19th century bureau plat, bronze mounted bureau plat, all original condition, including its silk needlework top. It's got a glass top to protect it, but kind of unbelievable to find it with that original needlepoint. Some Asian items, this gilt bronze seated Buddha, nice antique one, gilded finish, doré finish. These just came in yesterday. They're not even in our catalog yet, but a couple of hard stone, a carnelian censer, and this might be an early hawk. Maybe the censer's 20th century, but this hawk might be a little older than that. Anyway, they will be on our website by the end of today or tomorrow. A tray lot of hard stone and jades. Nice little jade figure here. Another jade lion or foo dog. Jade finial. Just a nice little lot of miscellaneous Chinese jades and hard stones. Beautiful little vase here, signed. Sort of phoenix decoration. To continue on Asian, a nice pair of 19th century. We don't have so much Chinese stuff this time, but it's all nice antique stuff. A pair of enameled garden seats, Mandarin garden seats, sort of hexagonal. A pair of French and Chinese, I think they're Chinese cloisonné lamps, French bronze mounted, but kind of chinoiserie style. Really beautiful. Found these in a local attic, a pair of antique Chinese robin's egg porcelain vases converted to lamps. You can see the detailed photos on our website. And from a Brooklyn estate, this great big Chinese enamel decorated covered vase. I can hardly pick it up. It has been repaired, old repairs. You can see it on our website. There's staples underneath, but an amazing large size. And just in, also not in our catalog, a beautiful 19th century Chinese carved marble top table It needs a little wax and a little cleaning up and glue, but it's a nice model. It'll be on our website by tomorrow. And another antique enamel decorated vase in great condition. Lizards and foo dogs. And as usual, Steve, a nice selection of antique and mid-century or modernist carpets. Of note is this 18 by 12, I suppose, Chinese Art Deco carpet. A really nice example with good pile. And besides this carpet, we have a nice selection of antique scatter carpets. They're not out on preview yet. There's some Hamadans, excellent turn-of-the-century scatter carpets. You'll see them on our website. And here a big pair of Moorcroft vases converted to lamps. Really nice big size. Another favorite of mine, Steve, is this signed Old Hickory suite of furniture. 2 armchairs, 2 side chairs, a table, and a small occasional table. Probably 1940s, original finish in great condition. And for that camp look, right in front of it is a big pair of moose antlers. I hope they're moose and not caribou. I think moose. And here a pair of antique hardwood Chinese chairs. The other one's on the other side of the gallery. They also need a little glue. They're a little dry, but they're all intact and a nice model. And here a big Baroque Revival dining room set. 2, 4, 6, 8 chairs, including 2 arms, a dining room table, marble top silver chest, marble top credenza or server, and the matching mirror. We're selling this set in the round by popular demand. French 19th century, a pair of 2 gilded and patinated bronze candelabra. Charlie D, Charles X, I guess. The first half of the 19th century, converted to lamps as they all are, or most are. And from an estate in Greenwich, this 19th century gilded console table, beautifully carved. I hope the estate is watching the video because I'd sure like to have those Chinese urns that she showed me. And from the same Greenwich estate is an excellent quality, large 19th century gilded pier mirror, probably French. Nice little Cupid's heads on each end and cherubs in a little battle pulling with griffins. Really an extra great example. And with that, Steve, I'm going to turn it over to Keen, who's going to be a little overwhelmed with all the mid-century stuff that he has to talk about. Thanks very much and hope to see you at the auction.
Thanks, Bruce. We have a wonderful collection of fine art, including just under 100 paintings this sale. The first one I'm going to show you is this gorgeous German painting by Karl Hagemeister. He's exhibited in many of the major galleries in Germany in their permanent collection still today. Studied in Paris for a little while, had some influence of the Impressionists there, specifically Manet. He actually brightened his palette after studying many of Manet's pieces, and you can see some of that influence in here with the wonderful tones in this kind of post-impressionist work, probably an early 20th century painting. We also have a terrific grouping of African American art in this sale from one collector in Riverdale. This is one piece by Jacob Lawrence. This is a 1972 Munich Olympics poster. This is hand-signed and numbered by the artist and dated 1971. We have a few other pieces that I will show you also by Jacob Lawrence. Before we get to those, I just want to point out this piece. This is a 1966 kind of abstract. Unfortunately, we have not been able to identify the artist. We do know the first name is Jaroslav and the last initial possibly M. However, the signature on the verso is rather illegible. There is a dedication and it's titled Western German Mystery, but I think it's a fantastic painting. And down here, I've pulled this one down off the wall so we can get a good look at it because the details are quite extraordinary. This is by Deanna Madison. And this is what she specializes in, these Western paintings, specifically portraits of Native Americans. And you can see the beautiful rendering of the features on the girl's face, as well as the beaded headdress and the feathers. It's actually called dancing feathers. Just to show you some more of the African American art selection, this one here actually came out of a house in Mount Vernon, New York. Beautiful watercolor with some nice charcoal details of a billiard room. Signature also illegible, but came, you know, from a collector of African American art. There were many other pieces in the home. Just some wonderful characters in this scene. This here is called Studio. This is another Jacob Lawrence. This one also titled down in the bottom, an edition of 50. This is number 15 in the edition, and pencil signed by Lawrence. This came out of the same collection as the other Jacob Lawrence poster. This is an important lithograph by African American artist Kara Walker. She's a contemporary artist. This is actually very typical of her silhouette pieces. Sometimes they're large-scale installations with these silhouettes. Very politically and racially driven, sometimes satirical. This one is signed up here and dated, I'm sorry, not dated, but numbered in an edition of 70. Here we have a terrific collection of photos. This is one of several lots of photographs from a Briarcliff Manor estate. These are of Martha Graham. They're by Barbara Morgan, a photographer in the mid-20th, early to mid-20th century. She was actually very much inspired by Martha Graham and her dance, and went on to photograph her and other of her contemporaries. These are both Martha Graham in My Letter to the World. And here we have Merce Cunningham. Up here I just want to show you a little gouache on newspaper by Joseph Salmon. What's interesting about this piece, aside from the early Washington, D.C. gallery label, is he actually has two dates on this. It's dated 1960 and 1991. He actually drew the image in 1960. It's called The Weary Rider, must be a subway rider, and then colored it later in 1991. This nice seascape by Lars Thorsen. He was a Norwegian-American painter, active through the late 19th century into the 20th century, and worked mostly in Connecticut, so this is likely a Connecticut seascape. Very well executed, just dirty, needs some cleaning, but a nice image. In line with our African-American collection, we have the Alvin Hollingsworth, very typical of his work. Nice figure in a massive field and a landscape. This is also out of the same Riverdale art collection. We've sold many of his pieces in the past. And just below it we have an unidentifiable Venice seascape or landscape, St. Mark's Cathedral in the background at dusk. Really beautifully done. Unfortunately, it looks like it had been cleaned many, many years ago, and the signature may have been rubbed down a bit. It was purchased at Christie's in London, must have been over 30 years ago. The consignor doesn't quite remember, and she didn't know the name of the artist. We have not been able to identify it, but it's just captures the light beautifully. You may remember from our last sale the 3 Mark Kostabis that we had. They did quite well, and the consignor was very pleased. He had another 2 more in his collection that he gave us to sell this time around. This is one of them here called Saturday Night. Both pieces in this sale were purchased directly from the artist in the 1980s. They're both signed and dated 1987. Nice, large, contemporary, colorful, bold pieces. Over here we have this really nice contemporary installation, if you will. It's actually 16 individual oils or mixed media pieces on canvas. This is as they were displayed in the Central Park South estate that we got them from. Again, it doesn't seem as if any of these pieces are signed, and as it was an estate, we were not able to find a catalog or a listing on the artist, but just a wonderful contemporary setup. There are another grouping of 4 also from this home to be included in this sale. This wonderful mid-20th century watercolor up here is by the German artist Herbert Beck. It's got wonderful gallery and exhibition information on the back of the frame. Beautiful colors used. I believe it's dated 1955. This came out of a Long Island estate. And quickly, while we're up here, I just want to show you, this is the other large Mark Kostabi. This one's called Two Cavity Fighters, and again, a 1987 piece by the artist. This wonderful spring landscape is by Samuel Harkness McRae, late 19th to early 20th century artist active in Connecticut. Just beautiful execution. If you take a look at the bright colors, the small figures, and the shadows of the trees, really nice painting. Here we have a nice little oil on canvas by Tully Filmus. We sold an oil by the artist a couple sales ago. It was of a stamp collector. This is quite a different subject here, and quite different from what you usually see of Tully Filmus. You've got a woman almost nude, seated, but a very sweet painting. Now moving back to the 18th, likely 18th century, we have these two large, expansive European landscapes. You've got wonderful village scenes with fishermen, a nice bustling town. This is one of a pair. There are a lot of details here. The other one here, we've got the goats and the sheep and the woman tending to them. And we do believe that these are early, and they are probably 18th century. They're in very good conditions considering the age on them. We have them estimated at 10 to 15,000, but what wonderful paintings in such a large scale. I mentioned that 16-piece installation that we had from the Central Park South Estate. These two pieces, along with another two by this artist, are from the same location. They are by Rudolph Ray, or also known as Rudolph Rappaport. And they're nice period 1950s, 1960s pieces. Although the artist does not have much of a track record at auction, we think these are quite special and actually quite fantastic, despite some of the craquelure and support probably necessary. The condition is a little bit rough, but such wonderful period images. Out of a Connecticut home, we have this wonderful 19th century Italian painting. It is a watercolor by Carlo Randonini. You see the stable boy there pulling that mule. I think it's just quite a funny image. You have the man there contemplating sort of his caricature type face. Really nicely painted. In line with the several large paintings we have in this auction, this is another one by American artist Chuck Connolly. It's a painting also from the mid-1980s. Big, almost surrealist landscape with towers and perhaps a spaceship coming down. Really nice piece, a little bit dark, but you've got that nice pop of color up there in the middle. Here we have another old master work. It's an oil on canvas of Europa and the Bull. Really nice piece. There's a lot of action going on in here, and it is really quite old. You may be able to see up here, it's actually got a very old reline on it. This is also out of a home in Long Island. Beautiful painting. You can also see really estate fresh. You can see the mold on the back, a dirty, grimy piece. Definitely needs some work, but fresh to the market, just as we like here at Clarke Auction. And that's just a small taste of the fine art in this sale. Keen's gonna give you a glance at some of the mid-century coming up. Thank you.
All right, thanks Nelia. So we'll start right here with this great Jorgen cast-home lounge chair, great leather wrapped arms, star base. From the other ones that I've seen, this leather, although it has slight wear, is in really good condition. Great look to it. Moving right along, we have this Whitacombe slide front chest. It has drawers on the top and on the bottom, signed. Right on my right here is a T.H. Robs Johns Gibbings X-base dining table. If you see the base down here, pretty self-explanatory why it's called that. Next to the table, we have the chairs made by Paul McCobb. Great look to that, very subtle angles on the back. The backrest is just beautiful in my opinion. A set of 4, and right behind you, Steve, we have a George Nelson for Herman Miller, blonde wood and black lacquered 4-drawer chest. This comes in the same lot as a sideboard of the same look, also signed by George Nelson. Right behind me here we have a pair, or a matching pair with the opposite drawer sides, a Parzinger Originals set of desks, clearly marked on the inside if you want to get that, the Parzinger Originals. Great, old, original condition, very beautiful. We'll keep moving over here. This is a pretty spectacular piece. Kind of strays from the usual that you would see for George Nakashima, but it is Nakashima, banded, has 2 leaves, signed on the bottom. Just really great, really kind of original. These next to the table are Fritz Hansen high back Oxford chairs, 2 armchairs, 5 side chairs, and we have one that with missing a base, but it might or might not be replaced. We don't know yet. Right here we have a pair of Harvey Prober cube chairs and pretty original, unique, I should say, upholstery, kind of wild here. I kind of like them, but you know, that's just my taste. Next to these chairs is a patio table in the pedal form by Robert Schultz. This was created by Robert Schultz and designed to mirror the look of a flower in bloom. And what's pretty good about this is you look at it from the top, it has the petal form. On the base, it has a root form, steel base that's structured to look like the bottom of a flower too. So from either side, really sticks to the name of it. Right here in the middle, we have a set of lucite floor lamps and a table lamp, great condition. This one has great weight. This is in excellent condition. This one, not clearly marked, but attributed to Pierre Cardin. The same Pierre Cardin who made these floor lamps right here. These are clearly marked and signed. No shades, but they are in great condition, and you know, great look to them as well. From the same collector that we got the Parzinger desk that I just showed you is a pair of these upholstered sofas. Not signed, but they probably are Parzinger judging from the estate. Right here we have a pair of great looking lucite cube chairs, possibly Prober, possibly Kagan. Couldn't really find a exact match to those, but that's what we believe. Right here, George Nelson early slatted bench for Herman Miller, also signed. 2 Italian mid-century love seat and sofa. The cushions on these are pretty rough condition, but the base and all the straps on the underside are in amazing condition, amazing original condition. I'll keep moving along here to these sets of chairs as we move down the line. This Hans Wegner, from all accounts, it is a 35 chair, missing one end to the backrest, but it is marked. You cannot ask for a better marking on the bottom of these. Next to this is a early Norwegian chair. The cushioning is a little stiff, but the frame is in excellent condition, clearly marked made in Norway on the bottom. Right here, this is one of my favorite pieces in the sale. It's a late addition to the catalog. It is a chair manufactured by Knoll from Robert Venturi. It is called the Queen Anne chair, and it has the very desirable grandmother pattern on this. It is created in 1980s, circa 1984. Has a great old Knoll International label on the bottom of that. Moving right along, we have another chair that came in with the Queen Anne chair. This is, I still honestly have to do some more research on this. It is a very unique looking chair. The consignor claimed that it was originally in a museum, probably in modern design section. Woven seat, stick form, natural wood, great unique chair, and we will definitely know more on this chair when the sale comes around. The last 2 chairs in this line are these Kagan style chairs, upholstered, came out of a great mid-century house in Queens, New York. The entire house was just custom designed in the 50s, the architecture, the furniture, spotless 1950s furniture and architecture, like I said. Right here we have the classic Ray and Charles Eames lounge chair and ottoman, missing a couple buttons on here, but the rosewood frame, absolute pristine condition. It is just a beautiful chair, and we see these quite often, but you just really can't get enough of these. Next to that, we have a pair of these unique hornback kind of chairs created from Caspin. The Caspin is the manufacturer. They have the original upholstery on the bottom. These have just been covered not in the greatest condition, but the frames again are great. This is a Ekstrom called the Extreme chair, spelled with a K, not an X. Very spider looking, very kind of modern and very cool, I think. Also, we have a Geoponti style Danish modern coat rack, very kind of space-like look to this, very unique, very nice. We actually have set the record for this at auction for the same piece several months ago, so it should do pretty well. Finally, I will show you another classic, just like the Ray and Charles Eames chair, the Saarinen table and chairs. This one has 4 of the swivel armchairs, all in original condition. Slight crack a little to the bottom, but in other words, this is just great original condition, great provenance to this as well. It was purchased from the same estate that the Barcelona chairs that Ron had showed you were from. You know, purchased early 60s, and it's just amazing, amazing condition. From the same collector that we got the rest of the Parzinger from. This is a Parzinger kind of short dining table. Great base to this as well. Kind of mimics the X base from the Rob John Givings, but it is Parzinger. These 2 upholstered early Danish chairs are very nice. The upholstery seems to be later, but they also have a great modern look to them. Okay, so finally, I'll show you this bedroom set. This bedroom set has this piece, a sideboard, 3-drawer next to 4-drawer, and it comes with a headboard. This piece right here, great, super clean, sliding front chest. Everything is in great working condition, structurally fantastic. And I think that is it for me. I will shoot you over to Whitney, and I hope you all enjoy the sale. Thank you.
Thank you, Keen, and I'm going to show you a selection of jewelry and sterling from this sale. Starting off, we're going to be showing you this Cartier ladies tank watch. It is, the face of this watch is in vermeil, and on the back it is signed Cartier with the serial number. It's in this wonderful red band, which is also almost unable to see this Cartier stamp, but it is stamped Cartier. Next up from the same Rhode Island estate is this cabochon or uncut emerald stone surrounded by diamonds in a ribbed shank. This ring weighs approximately 14 pennyweights. Up next is one of my favorite items in this sale, and it is a yellow gold and emerald plaque bracelet. This bracelet is in the Indian Empire style of Mughal, and each of these little plaques does have a scene depicting animals, foliage, and people, with these wonderful borders of filigree with seed pearls inset. It is unmarked, but tests as at least 20 carat, and it weighs approximately 46 pennyweights. Moving on to sterling, we have this wonderful repoussé tray. It is hallmarked, and it does depict a central scene of children dancing with a border of fruit and phoenix design. We believe this piece to be German. Another repoussé piece in the sale is this pair of repoussé figures in later gilt frames. The male figure here is hallmarked, if you can see right here. And this is a wonderful piece that we believe to be Austrian. Here we have a pair of Continental 800 silver condiments with great lion's head design on the bowl itself with nice glass inserts. Moving on to this Cartier lot, we have 8 salt and pepper shakers with a pair of footed salts with a spoon and cobalt liners, and all of these pieces are marked Cartier sterling. Next we have a vanity set here with brushes and vanity boxes, but the piece in this lot I'd really like you to take a look at is this great little decorative box. It is in 800 or continental silver with enamel and ivory, and a really wonderful design to that little plaque. One of the most interesting pieces of sterling in this sale is this arts and crafts period trophy cup with stag's horn handles. It does have applied grape and leaf design, and let's see, on this side we have an engraved depiction of a boar's head, which is really quite wonderful. And on the reverse side is a list of names that I believe to be members of whatever organization this piece was designed for. This is marked sterling and weighs approximately 47.8 troy ounces. And here we have a miscellaneous sterling flatware lot. that includes this fancy serving set with gilded bowls in a sort of Tiffany style, 12 teaspoons, and then we have a pair of Georgian silver stuffing spoons with wonderful crests on each end here, and there are marks on the back signifying the makers of these pieces, which include George Smith, William Allett, and William Farren, and these pieces are circa the late 18th century, 1790 to 1799. And to end our sterling selection, we have this international Royal Danish flatware set, serviced for 12 with 4 serving pieces, and this lot weighs approximately 103 troy ounces. And that about wraps it up for our jewelry and sterling selection for this sale, and we hope to see you in our gallery on April 14th. Thank you.